City.
GMG get to the bag.
Running up the bag that you brag about. Yeah. You ain't never had no money, little nigga. You ain't never seen work on the scale, nigga. You ain't never had to pay your own bill, nigga. Have you ever saw $1 million?
Today we have our special guest, Rev City, in the building.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What it do? All right. So why don't you start off by telling me a little bit about yourself and how you got or came up with your rap name.
Oh, okay. A little bit about myself. I started off in a group called New School with Tone. DBF, you know. It's all the same circle, GMG. Like, it's all the same thing. I got my name because my dad is a pastor. Okay. So they used to be tripping on me. My name was just City at first. You know what I'm saying? And then they just started, we was on tour, they just started calling me Rev City. So we patented it and we ran with that.
Okay. But why Rev City? Why Rev? What
because I guess I used to always be in church and stuff because of my pops, you know what I'm saying? So I was all, like growing up, I was just in church a lot.
Okay.
Playing instruments, you know.
So, what side of town are you from?
East side.
Okay. East side in the building.
East side.
What they do. Mm-hmm. How long have you been rapping?
Wow. I say about 20 years, 15, 20.
Okay. So basically you've been rapping since middle school.
Yeah, middle school.
All right. You used to rap in the lunchroom?
Yeah.
Have a crowd gathered around you? Spitting them bars?
Okay. You know, but back then it was more so, we was jitting and stuff, you know, it was all type of stuff, though. Back then it was just like, you know, we was jitting, but we was, for the most part, we was still in the studio a lot. It was just a movement. Like everything we did, it was like a lot of us, so, you know.
Okay. So, as far as your rap, do you like to freestyle the most, or do you like to write your raps?
Oh, everything I do is freestyle. I haven't wrote anything since probably 2004.
Alright. When you freestyling, does it have to be a certain type of environment, or you just hear like a certain beat and they click on?
It's whatever I feel.
Just whatever.
It's just like it's a feeling. So, because when you write it on paper, it's a feeling anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just more so just jotting it down to remember it. But when you do it off your brain, it's just like, okay, you're tricking the brain. You got to trick the brain to be able to do the verse, then go back over it, do the verse, then go back over it, and be able to get it on point.
Okay, so what would you say inspires your music?
What inspired my music?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean with inspired? What are like?
Okay, what is a previous artist when you were coming up that made you be like, you know what, I want to do that, I want to rap, like when you were younger?
My older cousin.
Okay.
My older cousin Traps, he was a rapper. Well, he still is, but he used to always, you know, when you got that older cousin in the family on the holidays, he'd come over there and be rapping and stuff, and I'm like, dang, he's sweet. So one of my girl cousins, which is she older, she like my mom and them age, and she used to always like pull me to the side, or she'd be in front of everybody and just do this little freestyle. I'd be like, man, that's sweet.
Right.
But I always was good with words. So that's what made me want to be a rapper, Traps. He made me want to be a rapper. I was like, dang, I want to be like Cuz, I want to be rapping it, blah, blah, blah. So I just started, you know, learning how to put my bars together.
Okay. Did your cousin ever like take it serious all the way and go to the studio and record?
Oh yeah. He took it serious, and you know, he had situations, big situations on the floor and all that stuff. But it was like he just told me like, if you're gonna do it, do it.
Do it all the way.
And when I started doing it, I started going hard at it. Like the first couple shows I had before we blew up, he took us. So it was like he was supporting. He was like, we used to go to Coco's House of Comedy.
Okay.
And just be, you know, doing our little open mics before we blew up. Us, Tierra Marie, we all was there. So we're just doing all these shows and stuff, and he was there to support it. So that was cool because that's who I looked up to doing his music.
Okay. So I know he's proud now.
Oh yeah.
All the stuff that you got going on. Now, would you do a song with him at this point, or he's completely like retired?
Oh, most definitely. I would do a song with Cuz just he doing a lot of movies right now. Like he be with a lot of a lot of movies and, taking care of the fam. But for the most part, like, when we get time, we hook up and he was like, oh yeah, we gotta get in the studio and do this. But we just be
Just having the time
yeah, we
having
be just on
permitted.
two different things. Like sometimes he be busy, sometimes I be busy. But then when the family have get-togethers, we always sit there and talking about it. So
Okay.
it's great.
So what happened one day?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So what is who is your favorite old school artist and who is your favorite current artist?
My favorite old school artist? I got a couple, but like as far as what genre?
Like what you liked?
See, I'm weird.
Name
because,
two then. Name two.
All right. My favorite artist, I'm sorry, they gonna not like me, but R. Kelly's one of my favorites.
Okay.
R. Kelly, and I'm gonna say R. Kelly
And then rapper.
and a rapper. Okay, rapper wise, who did I love to listen to? Pac.
Okay.
Every time, like I rode to Pac. Pac had music for different feelings. So yeah, Pac was one of my favorite. He was my favorite rapper. He was my favorite. Then it was Nas, then Jay.
Okay. That's what's up. And what about
And,
current?
no, and Biggie too. Biggie was after. Nah,
What about current? The current artist.
current artist.
I ain't gonna necessarily say favorite. Somebody.
Oh no, I mean no. Everybody got a favorite artist that be snapping. You know what I'm saying? But right now it's funny because there's so many people coming in and out of different lanes. But a person I really ride to that I can really vibe with and understand, like Rod Wave. I really I mess with dog like Boosie. It's a couple of them that I like that I really what I'm saying like.
Okay, that's what's up. What do you think is the hardest part about actually being in the industry?
Showing love.
Okay, so you think a lot of people have a hard time doing that?
No, it's not about people have a hard time showing love. It's about when you show love, you still consider it as wrong. You could do a million things for people. You can show them the right way to go. They're gonna go to the left. You going right, they going left. So it's like you can get a person everything on a pedestal. Like this is what you do. This is where you take. This is what it is. A minute somebody come that they feel can do better, or they feel in a better position, or not even that. It's just like if something don't go right, it's your fault. I lost a lot of friendships that way.
Right, but then a lot of times in those situations it come full circle.
Yeah,
And when they see that their way didn't work, then they come.
Then
back.
they try to come back, but you can't come
You
back.
can't
It's
come
like,
back, right?
You disrespect me. It's not you verbatimly coming to my face saying, "Oh, I got an issue with you." It ain't that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the behind the closet talk and the behind the way move, and then when you feel like you stuck your foot on the nail, here you go want to come back like, "Damn, real, you was right. I apologize." But it's too late. It's like it's a million years later. I'm on.
I done moved on.
Yeah, I'm shaking it.
Something else now.
It's dripping off me like rain.
Right. So, do you like the way the Detroit artists are portrayed?
I mean, I like the way we're going hard from Flint to Detroit. I like the way we're going hard. I respect everybody that's working right now because
I mean, like in like other cities, sometimes they kind of be hating on Detroit artists. I mean, like in that aspect.
I mean
like out of town.
they can't hate, but it's just like it's stuff in the South that goes on that we don't know nothing about. We go
Right.
to the South, they teach us a new move, a new way, a new something. Detroit have its own. When I listen to Sada Payroll, when I listen to Tone, when I listen to my group, when I listen to GMG, anybody, when I listen to Detroit, it give me a certain feeling because this is the way we was brought up. We was brought up with the Yays. We was brought up with the Gators. We was brought up with this. We was brought up with the Minks and everything. So our lifestyle is totally different from someone in the South. So how we talk about it is different than how they would talk about it. So that's why I worked on this album called The Drip Guide which is Cook Up is the first single off that project, I kind of did a lot of Detroit field because I have a lot of industry field records. So I wanted to go back to my roots to where I'm from because at first, and I'm gonna say this on camera because I'm not, I tell anybody to their face.
Right.
It's nothing. At first I felt like, oh yeah, Rev, well, everybody, you sound different. You don't even sound like you from here. And it feel good. But at the same time, you have to understand where you come from. So where you come from, you got to represent.
For sure.
So, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I had a whole album done. A whole another album done. And me, Tone, and Kel was in the studio, and he was like, yeah, those hit records. He's like, but you got to come with some of that Detroit. You got to get your backyard. So I'm like, you know what? That whole day, me and Kel probably did like 5 records straight. Then we turned around and finished the album the next day. So I did the whole album in 2 days. But it was basically me changing, my style a little bit to go to my roots for you to hear that. Okay. No matter what type of obstacle you put me in, I'm gonna do it like whatever type of music. But I just wanted to get my roots. I wanted people to see what I was doing, and I can deliver a Detroit record. I can put on Rev City as well. I just don't make industry music.
Okay, that's what's up. But do you feel Detroit artists stick together and support each other like they should? Because I know you spoke to the song for a minute.
We support each other, but
to a
certain extent. No, it's not even a lot of hating.
But it is. It's just a lot of clicks.
Because that's the thing. When people understand when people understand this power in numbers, because okay, it's a lot of animosity going on between different circles, right? Mm-hmm. One thing about my circle is like we refuse to get into any altercation with anybody because we chasing a bag. We about money.
It don't make dollars. It don't make sense.
Exactly. So us tearing each other down. If I go talk about a Sada baby, a Bezo, or a person that's not in my immediate circle, but I'm cool with them. If I get to a certain point to where I'm dissing them, then I'm dissing me, because we represent the same thing.
City too, right?
Like, how are we not getting along? Everybody should be getting along because it's a bigger bag when all of us seeing eye to eye.
Right. That's a great mindset.
So
unfortunately, everybody don't think like that.
And I don't want to see that happen to no Detroit artists. I don't want to see. Right, I want to see everybody prosper. I want to see us tear the door down. I want to see us. We already had the door, but what people don't understand is we be passing the baton because we be hating on each other. And that's our downfall. Atlanta, one person get in the door, they pulling 100 of their niggas in.
For sure,
and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Which is, we have done it, like a lot of people have done it. That's why I always used to respect the Trick thing, because the no-fly zone, because the only thing he was doing is making people respect our city, because a lot of people come to our city to make money, but don't want to break bread and don't want to put nobody on. So it's like, that's understandable.
Right.
And a person to hear one person like, oh, they whack. That don't mean everybody whack. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's people whacking your city. But it don't be portrayed like that. So that's why I was down with everything. But I don't want to see us Detroit artists go through hating on each other and woo, woo, woo. And then it's like, what Detroit artists got to start understanding. This is the difference between us. And this is what the promoters for these open mic events, these promoters from these clubs, they need to start telling these artists it's like this. When you go to Atlanta, they throw an open mic. You go to Miami, you go to LA, they throw an open mic. Mm-hmm. It's like a sold out birthday bash for a celebrity. Mm-hmm. Because all of those artists, once they perform, they waiting to see who else they can politic with, because they never know who next to blow. So everybody in their networking, everybody doing their thing, but our city, as soon as they get off stage, he take his people, he take him, and he walk out the door. And that's why it be so hard for our city, because it's like, okay, well, you should be bigging this man up, making him look good. Y'all got cameras rolling. Another state, another city, an A&R, anybody see that, they gonna support it. But when you looking at the camera, and about time dude get on stage, y'all walking out the door, so it's 3 people in there, and it literally look like it's not doing anything. So it look like we don't even stick together or nothing. Like it's just
and
like
that breaks spirits as well. You know, sometimes
spirits.
people they confident, they hyped up, they ready to perform, they done stayed and watched all the other people, and then they turn come and then everybody leave. That makes people feel fucked up.
But see, you know what though? I look at it like I learned some stuff from my daddy. He an OG, you know, he a pastor, but he kick it with me like this. If you don't come to church and praise God, he gonna praise God by himself. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna do my music by myself, and I'm gonna keep pushing it. So eventually, you're gonna get tired of hearing it because you're gonna hear it from 80 million different ways. So you might as well support it. Or if you're not gonna support it, then it's cool. I'm gonna have people that don't like me for no reason. But guess what? I don't care.
Right.
But it's fickle and it's messed up. That is people that surround you or in your city that's supposed to be bigging you up and saying, okay, this he next from the city, but we always been that from the city. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Cheddar Boys, us, we all paved the way for a lot of people that's out today. So I'm in the history books of Detroit music. You know what I'm saying? So I don't trip. I've been around the world with this. So it's like, at the end of the day, I'm not even tripping. You know what I'm saying? You're going to support me regardless, because I'm industry famous anyway. So I may be building my fan base up as a solo artist, but when I was in a group, the world knew who I was. So it's like, but when they see me now, it's where's your group? It's now, but we still a group. But guess what? We all got solo projects. So it's just introducing, and before I had solo deals, but to clear the air, because a lot of people be asking me this, I had solo deals. And people ask me like, well, why? So. And I'm like, well, look, check this out. It's me introducing myself as a solo artist for the first time that's being pushed right. You get a lot of situations where you get deals and we went through the not understanding the fact that, okay, you get a deal, you got to look for the release dates, you got to do this, you got to do that. Your first go-round, it's not going to be your best go-round. Some people luck up and it be their best go-round, but sometimes it's not. But it was to me because I learned a lot. I got to understand, like, the business side of it, because I always was a talker. So I understood the business. I got the business down pat. Right. So once I got the business down pat, I had to revert over to Instagram and build my followers and start from scratch because it was a whole nother world. It started, we were selling CDs. We sold 800,000 just putting it out, hitting the streets. So, yeah, and it was in the mom and pop stores. That's when mom and pops were popping. They took all the beautiful shit away. It's like Chantonique's, Tanya's. They closed those good record shops that supported hood music, and at the end of the day, it was accessible. Everybody today is like today. Okay, people be like, well, YouTube is the new source, but YouTube not paying these artists. Right. So why wouldn't you want to go stream this artist's music? But some people don't have the money to even pay for the streaming. But they get the money sometimes to go buy a CD. You feel what I'm saying? Back then. So, but hey, it's a different time, man. You know? It's a different time.
So, tell me about your current project that you have right now. You have a single out.
Oh, yeah. I got a single out. It's called Cook Up. It's out right now. It's off the Drip God tape. I'm going to look. Once this Drip God tape drop, I'm gonna keep them coming. So you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 till I'm 6 feet. You feel me? So I'm gonna keep Drip God tapes coming. I'm gonna do other projects with industry stuff and hit them with this every now and then put out other music and singles. But right now it's just that I'm working on the Drip God series. So the first single was Cook Up. So I'm pushing Cook Up right now, and then. Once I, I'm on the promo run right now, so once I finish this promo run, I'm going to keep going and I'm going to drop Beverly Pills.
Okay, so that'll be next.
Yeah, that'll be next. But right now, I'm just all Cook Up. That's what I'm running in the streets with, out of town with Cook Up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another question I have for you, how do you feel about the younger generation? Do you feel that they receive your music as well, like the target, like 18 to 20 something?
They do, but I had to get on their level. All right. And a lot of artists don't understand, like, when you're doing music, like the older you get, I mean, to these kids, songs been out 2 weeks and they become old. So you gotta keep a young person around you to keep you like grounded. Like, oh, okay, that's the way you gotta go. Okay, this the way. Okay,
Absolutely.
woo, woo. I'm already knowing what to do, but you just adding your little spice and your little drip. You showing me you can learn from anybody. So like my drip rub off on them and they drip rub off on me, and then it's like, okay, now I know what the young people like. Now,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, that's how I get it.
And that's what a lot of people have to realize. So some people, they so stuck, this is the way I do it and I don't care what, and this is what it's going to be. But at the end of the day, you
Well,
got
where
to
did it
keep up
get
with
you?
the times. Right, where
And
did it get you? So
Where
that's
did it get you? If
very,
it ain't get you no money, or if it ain't get you, if it ain't get you talked about, like,
right.
like when you just really look at, you have to when you act like that, you have to really go back and look over what have you done. It's just like being in school, and it's funny because it all revert back to I had this teacher. Her name was Miss King, and she used to be like, Rev, you on? She used to call me Aunt. She's like, Aunt, you on Too Easy Street. And I'm like, Too Easy Street? What you mean? She's like, you in La La Land. She was like, because what you don't understand is what you give is what you're going to get back. So if you half-ass it, it's going to be half-ass.
Right.
If you give it 150, you're going to get some good feedback. And I used to laugh because I thought it was funny. But when I got older and I started seeing the way I move and what I was doing when I had my first deals compared to now, it's like, yeah, I was half-assed. But because I had already had a name, I had already signed a deal, so it's like, oh, I'm thinking this is gonna come to me. No, I had to still work like the beginners work, but I just had to know the business. You know.
Okay. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What else do you want to do? Do you want to get into acting?
I'm about to kill him. Like, you know, we got movies coming. Sure, I'm gonna open up another strip club. Sure, buy my mom another house, another bigger crib. Sure, I just want my team to eat. That's what's gonna make me, you know, that's what's gonna do it for me. You feel me? So that's what I'm on. You know.
Okay. How you feel about the female artists out here? What's one of your favorite female artists?
Wow, that was a good one. You want to know for real?
For real.
I got maybe
Somebody who you would really listen to your car and ride to. Not nobody who you think cute and all that. I'm just lyrically. He's one of the best female artists out currently.
See, right now, I ride the Keezy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she in my circle, she GMG, but I ride to her because she be talking real stuff that I wouldn't hear. Like some stuff that Foxy or you would hear like
Shout out to
Remy
Keezy.
Ma. You know, like she go in, like she don't be coming with no just
Elementary school shit.
pussy this ass this type.
Right,
I mean,
right.
she could go there, but you know what I'm saying. She be going hard. She be going hard. So I think Keezy is my top. Keezy is my top. I mess with Charmaine.
Okay.
Charmaine. I think she really goes hard.
Okay.
And Rocky.
Okay.
I listen to all three of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So I listen to their stuff all day, hands down. Like, and I put my money on them.
Okay.
Them girls right there, I will.
What advice would you give to a upcoming aspiring artist that was a teenager? He's about to start rapping. He doesn't know what direction to go in. What advice would you give?
The advice I would give is don't let nobody tell you no. And another pointer that I would give is when you picking your circle, make sure everybody on the same page. You ain't got time to fall out, fall in. Because some situations people losing their life, some people, you know, it goes vice versa. So you just gotta know your circle, and then you know, be a man at the end of the day, be a woman. You know, keep it 1,000 with your inner circle, and you know, you'll do numbers. So most people, really, the whole thing about most people when it comes to the music is they finances. See, so some people is able to take care of their household situation and not able to take care of their other life, which is studio and what they want to do. So it'd be a hold up with their career because they feel like they got to rob Peter to pay Paul, which is, I understand that, but I done seen so many people hustle and do it. I done seen so many people that was on the bottom come up. I mean, I could tell a lot of stories, but I done seen some people come from, you know, rags to riches. But that's because they was determined, consistent.
Consistency is key.
And didn't care what people thought. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people think because you know you got a couple dollars that you popping, but it's a lot of broke people got better music.
Right.
Because they hungry. Like, if you listen to the 50 Cent, if you look at 50 Cent history, Get Rich or Die Trying was the best album ever. Because what? He ain't had it like that. Now you hear him come. He comes, but you don't hear that hunger. It ain't that pain.
You know who's from one of my favorite artists is DMX.
Oh, DMX.
And I love his story.
Oh, yeah, his story.
He came from
nothing.
nothing.
But see, that's the thing. When you come from nothing, you know how to appreciate when you get something. A lot of people that had a little something don't know how to appreciate when they get a little bit. They want a lot. So, like, they blessing becoming cut short because they don't know how to appreciate the little stuff. Before he bless you with the big stuff, you got to be appreciative of the little stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, right, yeah, you know how it go.
So how did your father feel about you rapping at first? Since he was a pastor.
That was a good question.
Was he a little upset at first?
I mean, at first, like, my dad knew I was always into music. I was always good at music. But
Singing in the choir?
Yeah, he thought I was gonna play baseball though.
Okay.
I was playing sports, and I was in a band.
Okay.
So, I was always doing the musician thing. But I thought he was gonna trip, but he didn't really trip because my grandmother told me. She said, "You don't let nobody tell you no. I don't care who they is."
Okay.
And she told me to go for what I believe and what I'm great at, and that stuck with me. And this is mom. So, and she was the first lady, you know. And once she said that, I'm like, "Oh, okay, grandma, I'm about to go hard with it then." But then, as I do, like, my daddy, he be like, he'll listen to it, but my daddy like Tupac. My daddy like that. Like, not, and he a pastor, but I'm not saying, like, he like Beyonce. He like listening to Jay-Z and the Carter album. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not biased to the music. He just don't listen to the new stuff where, you know, people be with the just talking ratchet. But, you know, and that's my little sister playing it. But he not, you know, he's not biased to it, you know, because that don't mean that I don't believe in God because I love music.
Right,
That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, as long as he know what he taught me is there and what he instilled in me is there, he really don't trip.
Okay.
Like, you know, he all for it, but it was a point in time in my life where he like, bro, if it ain't making you no money, you gotta go to school, get you a job, something. Because I was a school kid. I can't get on here and say I was a unprivileged kid, like, or I didn't have it, or my parents weren't in my life. I can't say I was homeless. I can't say I ain't had nothing. I had a car when I was 12. So at the end of the day, it's like, if I get on here and get the line for a side story, you know what I'm saying? No, I ain't gonna do that. But yeah, it was just he respected it. He grew to respect it. Him and my grandfathers, they grew to respect it. They was like, okay, that's what you doing? Okay, woo. Because that's where I was getting my money from to be able to go into the studio and handle my business when I was young. Like, you know what I'm saying? People charging $250 for this, dude. And I was always good with instruments, so I just picked up stuff and said, "Oh, I gotta learn to do this myself."
Right.
Got cold with it.
All right, that's what's
For
up.
sure.
All right, so shout out your social media tags.
Oh, y'all can follow me on IG at Rev City at REVCITY, or you can follow me on Facebook at Delvicio Anthony. Yeah, and My Twitter is at Rev City too.
Okay, and then real quick, one question I didn't ask you. Briefly tell me a little bit about Goldmine. How many artists on Goldmine music?
Okay, it's 9 of us.
Okay.
So shout out to Keezy.
So
Shout out to Eastside Yak. Shout out to Eastside Slim. Shout out to E Dash. Shout out to Tone. Shout out to Thug. Shout out to E Dash. And shout out to Ruda. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bama.
What's up, Bama?
And shout out to, like, you know, my management too. Shout out to Bob and Killer Kid. You know, they're working hard together, and you know what I'm saying? Like I said, shout out to Tom Tom, you know what I'm saying? We doing some big things, like, you know, we making it do what it do. Shout out to B-Tank, Benny, you know what I'm saying? He GMG, like, everybody GMG, you know? And we going hard with it, you know? There ain't no stopping.
All right, so that's what's up. I know everybody on Goldmine got some upcoming projects. So
everybody got some. Oh yeah, go check out.
For that,
Keezy got a video on YouTube. Go check her out. The name of it is. One second, I'm gonna tell you all the name of that. Wine got the No Way Out. Out on YouTube right now. Tone got Legendary out. You know, E Dash got a new single out. So go check him out. Like everything dropping is just a real big move because everybody dropping, everybody piping up. Yak got a new video out called Animal. Go stream that, go cop that, go watch that. I got Cook Up out.
We're gonna get off into Cook Up in a minute too.
For sure. Yeah, go check Keezy out. She dope. She a dope female. Yak dope. Eastside Slim dope. E Dash dope. E Dash remind me of like Benny Siegel, Freeway. Like he got that feel, and he got it on lock. Ruda. You know he did jocking for Tone. And then he's a producer and he's an artist too. So shout out to him too. If y'all want to get some beats from him, and shout out to Vito Stallone too. That he did Cook Up. He produced Cook Up. He GMG too. Like you know what I'm saying.
Story.
You know what I'm saying?
Keezy should be called My Story.
And Keezy video is called My Story, so y'all go check that out. Cause it's popping, you know what I'm saying? And y'all run me up, cause I ain't getting no face cut till I hit 20K. I'm at 15K right now on YouTube, so y'all take me to 20. If y'all can take me to 20, I've been posting it all day. If y'all take me to 20, I get to line up and get my hair rebraided. Till then, I ain't getting braided. I'm gonna just keep these nappy ass braids in my hair. Go ahead.
All right, so y'all heard it here. Go out there and follow him on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook if you are not already doing it. Be on the lookout for the Goldmine Music Gang, the projects coming up. You can follow me at Electric Elevation on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube at Electric Elevation Podcast.
For sure. Peace.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready when you
Okay.
GMG gets in the bag.
Running up the bag that you brag about. You ain't never had no money, little nigga. You ain't never seen work on the scale, nigga. You ain't never had to pay your own bill, nigga. Have you ever saw $1 million stash house? Get money, little nigga, I can brag now. All this money, little baby, will blow me down. Get a sister on the steps of the bando. Good little pussy with the fat ass. Yeah, give it to me with your rat ass. Nah, little bitch with her. Gon' suck it up so I can cook up. Been around the world with a few of them. Yeah, me and gang here ran through them. Money over bitches, how we do them. You hit once, don't say shit to them. I got a crease spot going like a 100 ball. Yep, no, I'm scared of name one of y'all. Hey, motherfucker, it's a hard time. The mission target, motherfucker, I'm hitting all mine. Niggas really hoes, they be snitching. Niggas really hoes, they be tripping. I'm getting to this money, pay attention. Nigga run up RP when he mentioned. Go ride your own way. It's only 1 million, what you waiting for? You say you go shoot, what you waiting for? Bitch, you was not a threat, I'm drinking they house. He say you wanna fight, throw fish first. I'ma beat his face in with the fish first. Got a couple beans, yeah, I'm about to shoot him OT. Nigga all in, dog, he don't even know me. You ain't never had no money, little nigga. You ain't never seen work on the scale, nigga. You ain't never had to pay your own bill, nigga. Have you ever saw $1 million stash house? I'm getting money, little nigga, I can brag now. All this money, little baby, wanna blow me down. Put a sister on the steps of the bend down. Good little pussy with the fat ass. Yeah, give it to me with your rat ass. That bad little bitch, roll the wood up. Yeah, gon' suck it up so I can cook up, cook up, cook up, cook up, cook up. Yeah.
GMG gets to the